to make things. So the great plague of 2020 some time ago left an everlasting impact on society. That impact is cottagecore. Oh, cottagecore, we're probably all sick of it. I'm not. And according to the internet, neither is the algorithm. If you're like me and typically live under a rock, cottagecore is an internet aesthetic popularized by adolescents and young adults, supposedly, celebrating an idolized rural life. Thanks, Wikipedia. So the weird thing about cottagecore is I actually had no idea what it was for years. I was playing Animal Crossing with my friend back in 2020, and she asked me,
what kind of theme are you going for your island?
Oh, I guess country living with lots of vintage stuff and nature.
Oh, so you're going for cottagecore?
I guess? So I Googled it and I was like, all right then, I guess it's cottagecore. The truth of the matter is I've always loved that British countryside look. In fact, my grandmother actually lived in a Tudor-style home, complete with the stucco, the wood, stone, and brick. No lie, I even inherited her medieval revival Jacobean dining set from the 1920s. Old stuff, it's in my blood. But there is some merit to our obsession with dreamy rural living. Whether you had to quarantine and work from home, or do what the rest of us peasant folk had to do and continue risking your lives working in public, I firmly believe that cottagecore planted a seed into our minds about the soullessness of modern work, the soullessness of the daily grind, and meetings that could have been emails. Personally speaking, as someone who did work with her hands, I do feel more fulfilled when my hard work is more than just a product. In fact, there's an appreciation for the origin of the materials that you get to work with, the dignity of your skill set, and the pride that comes when your work delights others or makes their lives easier. So I decided to let cottagecore seep into my personal life in unique little ways. For the past 3 years, I worked hard to make sure that my house and lifestyle was giving cottagecore. It's obviously not just me, we all fell for it. The dream of homesteading life from a magical distant past where you get to bake your own bread, sew your own clothes, sew your own flowy skirts and sip tea in delicate china and grow your own food. Well, I attempted this within the parameters of my cottage white townhouse in the middle of a small city. And let me tell you, the reality is that this shit was hard. 'Tis only me and my husband that reside in this house, and we're both regular people with full-time jobs in expensive-ass America.
So needless to say, there were some expectations and realities.
Actually made this. It's pretty terrible. And it chipped when I was moving, but I'm still proud of it. Anyway, the very first thing that I learned real quick as I embarked on this lifestyle was that I had to get rid of my high expectations for how this would turn out. One thing that always got to me about the whole cottagecore thing was just how carefully curated everyone's social media was. The TikTok reels, the Instagram posts, they were all just so beautiful with color coordinated photos and illustrations. They are full of wonder and woodland creatures, and they serve their purpose of allowing us to live vicariously through them. And once the sugar high was over, down came the inevitable crash of inadequacy, aka reality. To keep me grounded, I decided to treat this experiment not like an aesthetic, but rather like a subculture. A subculture is defined as a cultural group within a larger culture, often having beliefs or interests at variance with those of the larger culture. Subcultures can be about the look, but it's mostly about the beliefs and interests. Subcultures also have greater longevity than aesthetic chasing because it's more of a way of life as opposed to a particular look. It usually has a set of ideals and principles rather than the coolest stuff that you can buy. I didn't just want to post pretty pictures of my garden and pretty pictures of my bakes and other goodies, although I that's what I did. I wanted to live the reality of cottagecore as best as I could with the materials and home that I already have. And obviously, I don't live on a farm. I don't own any farm animals or a barn, and my townhouse is in the suburbs. But I can still fulfill some of the core ideals that cottagecore pushes, such as traditional skills, nature, and simpler living. Pause on that simpler living piece, though. Keep that in the back of your mind as you watch this.